All right, it's finally time for tire day on the Kepler. She's upside down and ready to be transformed with those new V-Tire Speedsters down there. Less rolling resistance and quieter ride. Tire 1 is done. Look at that. That looks sweet. Look at that tread. One other thing about these tires I wanted to mention is just the clearance. So these are 3.5, 26 by 3.5. So they're slightly smaller than the 4.0s. I used the same 4.0 tube in this one. I inflated them to about 26 PSI. These are rated for 30 PSI. $68 on Amazon. If you go to vtireco.com, I think they're sold out of these, but I did find them on Amazon, so I'll throw a link in there to that reseller that had them. Not sure how many they have left, but worth a shot anyway. Some resellers out there do still have these tires in stock, so keep that in mind. But there's a little bit more clearance now with the fender, between the fender and the tire itself, which I think overall is just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So getting the tires on was pretty easy, once we got the stuff off of here. One note for you Kepler owners, if you're going to change the tire back here, this is a 20 millimeter nut on there. And the kit that Kepler gives you, they give you a 19 and a 22 millimeter wrench. So I had to go hunting for my neighbors to find a 20 millimeter socket wrench, and that did the trick. So just bear that in mind. You need a 20 millimeter wrench to get this nut off. All right, so here's the Kepler with the new V-Tire Speedsters on there. 3 reasons to do this. So number 1, looks. I think they look a lot better than those stock CST tires. That big white lettering, that huge lettering, that kind of changes the look of the bike in my opinion. Number 2, less rolling resistance. So you can roll longer and quicker on these tires. And number 3, they're quieter. Much less, it's not be tread anymore. It's this nice grippy street tire tread almost. And it really helps to streamline the Kepler. Now I'm going to do one more thing to streamline this e-bike. I'm going to remove the rack and put a seat post rack on there, kind of a floating one on the back. All right, let's go show you the rolling resistance, these tires, and how quiet they are. I'm going to go up here and just going to coast down a slight decline. All right, we're going to coast there. It's like dead silence almost. Very quiet. Yeah, very happy with this upgrade. Looks, rolling resistance, and noise. 3 good reasons to get the V-Tire Speedsters. Alright, so probably the main flaw in this e-bike is its size. It's really tall. I'm 6 foot. I have trouble getting on and off this thing because it's so tall. And one of the big reasons of that is because this large rack back here. It sits well past the tire. And so if you're lifting your leg over it to hop on, you always hit this. So my solution is to get this floating rack that goes into the C-post, clamps on right here, and it's going to come up and sit this way, and it's going to end about here actually. So I'm shaving about a good 8 inches off of that rack back there, and I'll still have a place to put a bag. So let's see how it looks. Now there's one flaw with this as well. You have to find one with a bracket back here to fit your tail light. The problem is this one is not wide enough to screw the Kepler ones in here. It's hard to see here, but you can see the two screws there, and this width is a little bit wider than what this provides. But I'm going to get a metal piece here with some holes in it at Home Depot, some kind of bracket, and see if I can screw that in first, or use it as a brace to widen the width of the holes here, and put the tail light on there. In the meantime, I may just use Velcro or some zip ties to secure it for now. So this just goes around your C-post and it just tightens up just like a regular bike seat does, like one of those. And they give you some shims for this as well in case it doesn't quite fit. So here are the shims. So I'm going to try it first just sideways so it make sure it fits, and then I'll remove the rack and see how it looks. Just use a little 8mm wrench to unscrew these screws back here. It's a little tedious because it's hard to work back here with your fingers. Alright, so I got the tail light off. It just hangs there, and it comes in from the fender over there. So here is the bracket back here. So this is, the minimum width is about 1 3/4, and the minimum width on this is only 1 1/4. So I can screw in one side for now, I guess, and I'll zip tie the other half for now until I get a bracket that's a little bit longer, where I can screw in both screws. This rack, by the way, weighs 3.4 pounds. It's huge. So I probably just shaved off a good pound at least with this C-post style rack. This is a Lumen Trail. I'll put a link in the description. And it's one of the few floating racks I could find that had that angle and also had a bracket back there. So, all right, so I could screw it in this side. The other side, I'm just using a zip tie for now until I figure out a more permanent solution. The other issue was the wire for the brake light, because it comes out of the rack of the fender over here. So I threw a zip tie, kind of just bunched it up underneath, so it's just kind of out of the way there. It's the only kind of negative about doing this, I think, is that particular look, but I'm going to keep it for now, and we'll see how it does. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention about this rack is that it does move a little bit. So, like if I kick it, it does get out of place. It's not very loose, but it is loose enough so that if you do kick it, it does move, which is a problem because of the wire. So I may have to take off the brake light and put just a third-party brake or a light back there. I'll lose the braking ability, but I may be able to find one that works on a motion sensor. If you guys know of one I could put back here, let me know. That's the only sort of con, I think, with this rack like this, and the way the bike is set up. So, one last look at the Streamline Kepler before we end the video. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks a little bit tighter now, and cleaner with those tires. But yeah, you tell me what's your reaction. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments there. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more Kepler footage coming, and other e-bikes as well this summer of 2023. So stay tuned, guys.